Greetings, friends, and welcome to Captain Samuel's Ancient Runes. Take a look at this. This is the remains of an ancient castle built by the forces of chaos before they were chased out by the forces of law. And over there is a lake discolored by the shed blood of chaos gods. And if you listen carefully, you can still hear the construction sounds of chaos on another plane trying to rebuild this fortification. So today we're looking at the first two books in the Chronicles of Corum by Michael Moorcock, typically referred to as the Swords Trilogy. So that's the first book, the Knight of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the King of Swords. And I have these in the Berkeley Fantasy Edition. And when were these published? Let's see. Yeah, early 1970s. So this is the part of the review where I do a plot synopsis. I'm going to come right out and say these books were all over the place. You ever have a Dungeons and Dragons adventure where the dungeon master loves combat and random encounters and doesn't have any adventure material prepared? That's what these feel like. So they follow the loose adventures of Corum, who is a member of the Vadog race, which is in decline. There's very few Vadog castles left. And they spend all their time kind of doing arts and crafts. Well, the humans show up, later referred to as the Mogden, and the humans are the forces of chaos, and they burn down Corum's castle, kill all of his family, and he goes out on a quest for revenge. In his initial encounter with the humans, they chop off one of his hands and they pop out one of his eyes, so he's disfigured, and through the help of a sorcerer, he has the eye of the god Rin put into his eye socket and the hand of the other god Quill put onto his hand. And with the eye, he can see into an undead plane and summon the forces that have been killed by the hand of Quill. And the hand of Quill also sometimes takes over his body. He also has a buddy named Jari, who reappears as the assistant to Eternal Champions, which is what Corum is a manifestation of. And Jari is like a guy with like a fancy feathered hat and a rapier. And he also has a flying cat, which steals the show. So off they go. They have all these adventures trying to stop the gods of chaos from completely taking over their realms. And it's just a lot of weird stuff all kind of strung together. Some of it works, some of it doesn't. My favorite was probably where they had to row across this lake, where the lake tells them all of these voices, and the voices tell them to jump in the lake, and if they do, they become just another voice in the lake. They meet Ariok, who's like this gigantic god crawling with little humans, like bugs all over top of him. All these weird chaos beasts, deserts made of dried blood. It's just a lot of weird stuff one after the other. And it's entertaining. It doesn't quite gel together. And, you know, at one part in the later books, Elric shows up from the Elric series and showed as Ericose, another Eternal Champion, and then they all get together and they kind of have like this group hug and do this magical ceremony to defeat this kind of main bad guy. There's like pyramids in the sky that float around. Just a lot of wild stuff. And while I appreciate all the encounters and I was entertained, just the fact that this was kind of a loose narrative didn't really feel like we were going anywhere. After he defeats the first Chaos God Book 1, things are kind of copacetic for a while. Oh no, in Book 2 another Chaos God is back, and now we gotta go defeat that one. And then we do. And then in Book 3, what's going on? Uh-oh, now it's the third Chaos God, and we gotta go with that one. So it just kind of felt like we were spinning our wheels. So, I give the first Chronicles of Corum 4 stars, because that one felt like it was the most coherent and had the most interesting stuff going on. But after that, it was a bit of diminishing returns, and I give the other two books 3 stars. So that has been the Swords Trilogy, Chronicles of Corum by Michael Moorcock. thanks for watching. Hope you're doing well. And I kept looking down at my feet because there's little tiny chaos beasts crawling around. There's just ants everywhere. I think I sat in an ant nest or something. But that's chaos for you. Bye.